Have you ever had a day where all you want to do is shut off your brain, turn on Netflix, and put on a show that will make you laugh? The Office is like that for me. It is my go-to when my brain can't function anymore and I'm in need of a friend. It may seem silly to have a show be your friend, but I can always count on The Office making me laugh. I'm going to tell you reasons why I consider The Office to be one of the best shows and why I can watch it multiple times. Reason 1 is it's hilarious. Reason 2 is there's comedian writers that contribute to the content of the show and also act as characters of the show. And lastly, it has the best relationship goals that I can think of throughout any TV series I've ever seen. Before I start explaining reasons why it's hilarious, I'm going to tell you what type of humor it has. It's called grimace humor. It means that sometimes it's so awkward, the only thing you can do is laugh. A great representation of that kind of humor is The Boss, played by Steve Carell. He is narcissistic. He has very childlike resolution skills. He is super inappropriate, and I think it comes from his social awkwardness. He also, on the flip side, cares deeply about his coworkers. He sees them as his family, and I also think because he has no other friends. It provides great cringeworthy humor that all you want to do is laugh because you feel so uncomfortable. Another type of humor that presents itself is maybe something that pushes the boundaries a little bit and makes people uncomfortable besides the cringeworthy one. Medium.com says it provides an opportunity to break from overly politically correctness where we are allowed to laugh at things that are so clearly out of bounds in real life. For me, it's nice to have a show that I can laugh about things that are very serious in this world, but it's nice to have a humor about them. On the flip side, there's wholesome humor. For instance, there's a character Jim and Dwight, and they prank each other throughout the whole entire series. It's pretty amazing what pranks they come up with and just the creativity that is involved in that show. There's also multiple That's What She Said jokes, and to me personally, I think wholesome humor is great because it doesn't hurt anyone. If the humor wouldn't be present if there wasn't amazing writers and a great cast involved. Travis Flickett from Rotten Tomatoes says, The Office has one of the best casts on television. It's some of, if not the funniest writing you'll ever find on any channel. The show has quality stand-up comedians that write for the show. For instance, Mindy Kaling. She is a part of the Mindy Project, which is a really popular show, and she's a stand-up comedian. She has a great role in the show and provides endless comic relief. Also, Steve Carell, who is the boss, the narcissistic boss, he got a Golden Globe for Best Actor in the show, and he's also nominated as America's Funniest Man by Life magazine. He is also a comedian and writes for the show. There's also BJ Kovic, who's a comedian and writes heavily for the show and plays a character in the show. I think that the multiple writers that contribute to the show make it more witty, unique, and often it feels improvised. It feels like they're bantering back and forth. There's some fluidity to the show that isn't present in other shows. With a great cast comes great characters and great character development. It's a mockumentary, so that means that a lot of characters are talking directly to the screen. Often it provides great delivery and pretty good timing to some jokes. It also makes you invested into people's lives, and sometimes it could remind you of people that you work with or some of your friends, except most of the characters are very exaggerated in their personality. There are some relationships that happen during the show that make the audience feel emotional. For instance, Pam and Jim. They have a friendship that is developing, and then throughout the series, they become into a romantic relationship. However, it's not over-romanticized, It's a very genuine, real relationship with real relationship problems. I think that the audience really deeply connects with them because of that. In conclusion, I've told you kind of the idea of what the show represents and what kind of humor it has, how it has multiple comedians write for the show, and some of the character relationships that are involved in the show. Throughout the past decade, I've watched this show countless times. It's always been something I can turn on, and I know that I'm going to crack a smile. So I'm going to leave you with a quote that the boss, Steve Carell, plays, and it goes like this. Nobody should have to go to work thinking, oh, this is the place I might die today. That is what a hospital is for. An office is not for dying. An office is a place to live to the fullest. To the max. An office is a place where dreams come true.